Hi, and welcome to the Arsenal Fans Focus. This podcast is all about you, the fans. Your passion, your opinions, and for the love of the game, take centre stage. Let's dive in. How you doing, Adam?
Yeah, very well. Thanks, Pat. How's things?
I'm good, mate. How you doing? How you doing, Jake?
Yeah, very well. Thank you, mate.
Good. Just want to say hi to everyone who's watching this podcast. Please do us a favor. Please subscribe, like, and hit the notification button. Please share it with your friends. It is all about Arsenal. We do dabble in in some other teams, but it's mostly about the Arsenal, the pre-season game, the game after. Yeah. I'm not an analysis person, but I'll leave that to Adam and stuff, because all I care about is getting the ball in the net. You know what I mean? How many times we hit the ball in the net? So please follow, please subscribe, and also please comment on what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about a couple of things today. We're going to quickly brush over the England game, and we're going to be talking mostly about the Arsenal players, because I think we've done really well, our individual players. And the second thing we're going to be talking about is the game about the Nottingham Forest game. And the last thing we're going to brush over it, about these 74 charges that Chelsea's got. Cheats. They need to give it all back. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a bit. All right. Right. So let's just jump into the England game. I want to start. Do you want to start that off, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, from an Arsenal point of view, positive that no one came back injured. I think someone said to me today, it's the first time in something like 12 years we've not had an injury from an international break. Which, I mean, if that's true, it does feel like it's true. It always feels like, you know, every time we went into an international break, someone pulls up with a hamstring injury, and that's the main positive that came out of it for me. I mean, again, equally, some of the performances as well. You know, Madueke especially seems to have kind of turned everyone's opinion around him again in 2 games, and I think we said we started to see it in the Liverpool game, and I think the Serbia game he was man of the match from what I was told, and yeah, I mean it's all positive. Like, it sounded like there were good performances from you know, all the players on the international break. I think. As I say, my concern is always the injuries. It's always like, just make sure you come back fit, and that was the main part for me. But no, any confidence booster, you know, good performances, and just taking a little bit of pressure off. You know, Madueke is what we said, one of those signings that's under a little bit of pressure at Arsenal. So to go and impress people in an England shirt, it's obviously a massive boost. And again, I'm not happy for Lewis Skelly not being left out of the second game, but it's obviously positive for Arsenal, because then that's how that risk of injury was gone as well. So yeah, all in all, an international break without any kind of major, you know, fiasco for Arsenal, really.
Jake?
Yeah, again, that's my major worry about internationals, what Adam was saying about with the injuries, but I think we've already got our injuries already. With obviously Saka, Havertz, etc. But yeah, really pleased for Madueke. I think for his confidence, and obviously it was probably good timing for Saka to get injured, because he probably wouldn't have played the couple of games for Arsenal and the international. So really good for his confidence, and hopefully he'll start at Forest and carry that on. But yeah, we seem to be like 10 years ago we had no no Arsenal players in the England team, and now we seem to have like 4 or 5 starting the game. So really pleased to see obviously Lewis Skelly get a good 90 minutes under his belt. I think Eze didn't have the greatest game from memory.
Eze scored? Did he score?
No, he didn't score. He was playing that number 10, but I don't think he had the greatest of games. But yeah, I just want him back. I don't care what he does in an England shirt, to be honest with you. I just want him back for Arsenal. But yeah, really positive. Obviously, Mourinho got a decent hat-trick as well. That was the only thing I really noticed about the other internationals. Calafiori had a good game as well, I third for Italy. But
Calafiori, you had Zubamendi.
Yeah. Everyone's bigging him up. Rodri was bigging him up the other day. So saying he's.
I think the only negative that came out of it, from my point of view, sorry, Jake, is the Gyökeres. Obviously, you know, not again. You know, Gyökeres has got he's under huge pressure at Arsenal, but it seems to translate to Sweden now. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard so much information.
Did he not score? Sorry? Did Did he not score off
No,
the
I think he
speed?
got an assist.
Sweden, yeah, they lost 2-0 to Kosovo midweek, and I said I've never seen so much scrutiny over a Sweden-Kosovo game in this country, and it shows you how much pressure he's under at Arsenal.
What about was Isaac under the same pressure or not?
I think
Isak didn't play the first game. He came on in the second because he's not match fit. He came on in the second, and he got booked and didn't do anything. But it was only half an hour. But I think it shows you that I'm hoping Jokeris isn't reading some of the stuff on there, because to say it was like, obviously Sweden didn't play well generally to lose 2-0, but it was straight away. Everyone was jumping on it. So he can't score against Kosovo, and it's just like, I think unfortunately he's under big pressure again for Saturday, because he's not scored in the 2 away games, and it feels like he's gonna have to score in the home games to get people off his back. And I think that was the only slight negative that came out of it. That suddenly we were analysing, his performances for Sweden in a game that we probably wouldn't have any kind of consideration over otherwise.
I think the spotlight's on him a lot, because it's if he's not scoring, what is he doing?
Yeah,
is he providing for the team? Is he making them runs down the channels to bring us up the pitch? I think that's going to be, until the next international break, I feel like he's got to be doing a bit more for the team. But it is going to be hard for him. He might take 6 months to. Do you know what I mean? I know we've spent this money on him. He's 27 years old, and he should hit the ground running. But even in the games we've seen him in, obviously Leeds was great in the second half. But yeah, I feel like the team needs to get used to him, and he's getting used to the Premier League, and it's the best league in the world. Do you know what I mean? So there is a lot of pressure on him. And yeah, obviously we all want him to do really, really well, but I think it will take a bit longer than first expected, I'd say.
Yeah, I think let's not forget Ethan Ranieri, European under-21 qualifiers, scored, and he got player of the match.
Who were they playing? I think they're playing Kazakhstan.
They were playing. I can't even say the name. Is it
Kazakhstan?
Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
That's it, Kazakhstan, and stuff. So yeah, and he got player of the match.
Gauman played for the under-19s, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, I didn't see too much. Yeah, I think I saw something about he got fouled 10 times in the first half.
Yeah, and that was like a great thing for him.
Yeah, he's obviously his reputation precedes him, that people are going to kick him now. Like they can't get near him.
That might be good for the betting odds, but
yeah,
not a lot else. But
Mascara. Is it Mascara?
Yeah.
And again, I think he was
the under-21s again, or
under-21s and stuff.
I'm surprised he hasn't been called up. I know there's a lot of good Spanish centre backs, but I'm surprised he hasn't been called up to the national squad yet. I know it's only been a couple of games for us, but he did perform very well.
Another person, again, saying his name properly. Hincapi. Is that how you say it? Hincapi. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, again, he played another night.
He clean sheet against Argentina, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah. And I think the good thing is what Adam just said. I mean, they all came back injury free, which is unusual, especially for a lot of them. I mean, for so many players in an international game. Arteta must have been rubbing his eyes, or he must have been.
There's always
biting his nails when he was.
I think the thing that helps as well these days, you look at, as Jake was saying, the Prem is so strong now that, no disrespect to Forest. If you'd played Forest in the Prem 15 years ago, they probably would have had 3 or 4 internationals now. You look at Forest 11, and they probably had 9, 10 internationals out there starting 11. Chris Wood going over to New Zealand, and like Milenkovic. There's a lot of good international players there. So they're not. It's not like back in the day. We used to worry with Arsenal when you play a kind of mid-table team. And that's no disrespect to Forest. They probably are that generally. And you're looking at going, they've had a week's rest, a lot of them, and it doesn't seem to be the case now. So I'm not as worried as I used to be with like when players are coming from all over the world or these internationals. I'll tell you a name we forgot. And again, he apparently, I didn't see the game, but apparently what I'm hearing, he played absolutely superb. Martin Odegaard. Yeah.
He was playing Moldova.
Yeah, but they hit 11 though, didn't they? I mean, again, I think the thing is, right, it is Moldova, but England beat Andorra 2-0. Now, if England would beat Moldova 11-1, you'd be going, bloody hell, that's one hell of a performance.
How did we concede one?
Yeah. Well, that would be the English press, yeah. But no, you're right. It's there's a lot of positive news that came out of it. He scored as well, and
He's got an intro.
Done really well. I mean, I just want to try and just finish on the England. I just want to ask you guys this: why is Thomas Tuchel getting so much negative press? The guy has got 5 clean sheets.
England manager.
5 clean sheets. All right, he's won all his games. Okay, now what I don't like is this. When you listen to it's more the what do you call the pundits, not the pundits, the pundits and the press. Because I don't understand why they feel that England has got the God-given right to roll over countries, and even if we win, it's not enough. We have to be literally not only battering them, and when I mean battering, scoring 4, 5, 6 goals, or if we get 1 or 2, it's not enough. We played absolutely ridiculous, or we're not playing with any flair, like guys are stepping over the ball 100 times, or doing backflips, or doing the Cruyffs, or doing the what is that about? Isn't it all about winning? Isn't it about getting that ball in the back of the net and winning and coming home with those 3 points?
I think we're so expected to beat these Andorras and these other teams that it's got to be more than that. It's got to be a performance. Obviously, Serbia was a better performance, but
Serbia was only a better performance because Arsenal. Because England scored 5 goals. Listen, England beat that other team 2-0. And I thought it was an absolute brilliant performance. Now, he was slated for it. The team got slated for it.
It reminds me a little bit of the Arteta situation with Tuchel, again, because if you look at what the results have been, like obviously 1-0 over in Andorra, 2-0 at home to Andorra. Serbia had a little bit of a go at England. They opened up a little bit because, again, Serbia being a better side than Andorra, they're kind of expected. And that's what I said about Arteta last year. If you look at the teams that we absolutely kind of spanked in the last couple of years, like West Ham, Crystal Palace, away from home, the 5-1s, and it was like those teams are the ones that had to go at us because they were expected to go at us at home, and Serbia did the same thing to England. I don't think England, people have got so much respect for England from these smaller nations. They do, like Andorra came to Villa Park and they didn't cross the halfway line. They're going to put 2 banks of 4 in there, and it's not easy to break it down, regardless of that situation. Whereas Serbia, it showed what England can do if you have a team that fancy having a little go at England. And that was the thing. If you compare it to Southgate, Serbia, we beat them 1-0 in the Euros, and it was a really late goal, and it was a really average performance. And I think Tuchel's best performances will come against the better nations because he is that kind of tactician. Like, again, sometimes with Arteta, we don't always beat the kind of, we have trouble against the lower teams at home. We've always had that. Everton at home last year, 0-0. We do have problems against them because sometimes we're set up, but in the same way that England are, we're set up with quick wingers and to kind of hit people quickly. And Andorra were never going to allow you to do that in the same way some of the teams that come to the Emirates don't. So I think, as Jake said, it's so much pressure on England that you expected to win every game 5-0 against a team that's not Spain, Italy, Germany, or whatever. And it is over the top, the criticism. But I think he obviously put a lot of it to bed with the Serbia performance because Belgrade's not an easy place to go to for any team, and you're not going to get many people winning 5-0 over there.
No, I understand that, and I think that's what you're saying. It sounds right, but what I'm trying to get at is that England has never been, even though we've got good players, England has never been known for that flair or that skills or that sexy football. England is known to grind results and get the win. Why are these so-called journalists, pundits, and broadcasters, when England win a game, it's still not good enough for it? I know someone said to me as well, it's got something to do because of his, and I never said it, and I think it's true. It's got something to do with because he's a German roots.
I don't necessarily think that. I think it's just
he's doing a lot better than what Gareth Southgate's doing at the moment.
But you can't judge him now. You say
you can't judge him, but that's what's happening. They're judging him. They literally are judging.
That's been the English press for as long as I remember personally. Going back to the Graham Taylor, Glenn Hoddle days, Sven-Goran Eriksson. Graham Taylor was under huge pressure in the early 90s, and I think the thing is, like, say Tuchel's under a little bit more pressure. He's not English. I do agree with that. In the same way Sven was, in the same way Capello was. You almost have to have a little bit of swagger when you win because you've gone against English coaches. And I agree with you. I think the football will be better under Tuchel given time. He's 5 games in, and we've not really played a big nation to test it to kind of see what we can do. The problem is, again, the English press. We've got this kind of idea that we're the best team in Europe, maybe bar Spain, and that's the problem. And it's like, as soon as you have that kind of the squad with what they think is a lot of flair, you're just expected to wallop teams. And we see it, you look at teams like Germany and, Italy won 5-4 in Israel the other day. There's some weird results going on. And was it the Netherlands won 3-2 in Lithuania? And it's like, I don't know if you saw Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank on the overlap. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank played for some big clubs around Europe and, was under pressure. He said he's never, when he worked for Southgate in England, he's never seen pressure like it. Every game is like, you've got to win this, otherwise, you are done, basically. And the reaction to the Andorra game exactly echoed that. You won 2-0 and it felt like you lost the game 2-0, didn't it? The reaction the day after. But that's the pressure that comes with being an England manager, unfortunately. I think he will be able to deal with it.
Well, I hope he does, because you can see what he's trying to do, all right? And you can't always blame managers. The players have got to look at themselves as well as, and I know it's the most easiest person to point is the finger is at a manager, but players have got to point the fingers at themselves as well. And even if the players, for me, as long as the players, all right, they play together and they win that game, I can't see any criticism. Because I'm not looking for a Jude Bellingham to do a step over every 4 or 5 times. I'm not looking for him to do. I'm not looking for Harry Kane, because Harry Kane, I don't care what anyone says. He's a goal scorer, but he hasn't got skills. And I'm not expecting Harry Kane to push the ball to nutmeg a player, or to step over the ball 5 times and do a backflip and score a goal. I'm just saying I expect him to score the goal. And
no one will remember. Yeah, no one will remember 2-0 against Andorra when we get to the World Cup. Again, it's like it's analysed at the time. You forget about it afterwards.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, these journalists and commentators, they know exactly what they're doing. They're setting them up for failure. They're setting them up.
I feel like we still could have had a good performance and beat Andorra 6-0, and they'd still find something. Yeah, that's just how the press have been since day one.
Yeah,
and I think he like I don't think that was close to the best 11 that England had. Obviously, Saka's not there. Bellingham's not there. The back four, the back four is always changing.
Even if they're not there, you only can use or play what's in front of you.
But a lot of these players as well are coming. They're learning the way Thomas Tuchel plays football. They're all coming from different clubs. Like Arteta plays something totally different.
Yeah.
Obviously, we might have the wingers set up in a certain way, but it's a totally different setup. So it's going to take time to get used to. But
yeah, I just don't like the way the journalists they throw it on the fans. The fans aren't happy. No, you're not happy.
I don't think it helps England. I've never felt it's helped England. I genuinely think on probably 3 occasions in my lifetime, England have had either the best squad at a national tournament, or should have gone a lot closer to winning it. But I think that we put too much pressure on them. I really do. I think, a lot. If you look at some of the games we've gone out of, Croatia, no disrespect to Croatia in 2018, England were a better side than them, but the pressure got to them. It felt like the weight of the nation. And Croatia were there going, then they come back to a fanfare if they got to the semi-final, then they got to the final. But it just feels with England, it's like, as Jake said, it's just failure if you don't do everything perfectly. It's so much scrutiny on it. I don't envy the players.
I think it's part of the fact that the Premier League is obviously the best league in the world, and everyone just assumes that England are going to be the best team. But you've still got teams like Spain and France. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, they're probably the better technical players. Do you know what I mean? But he'll be judged in the World Cup next year, and these internationals are
All right, let's get on to our favourite topic, the Arsenal, mate. I mean, are you guys over the Liverpool game?
I'm over the
game.
Huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's given it an interesting little twist now with Ange.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Ange coming in.
What are you expecting, Jake?
I don't know, because I don't think Ange's ever beat us. Touch wood. But yeah, I think he's walked into a decent squad. To be fair, I think it was just the toxic relationship between the manager and the owner more than anything else with the players. Obviously, they had a terrible result against West Ham. But I think Ange's will get him going again. Not on Saturday, but yeah, it might be too early for that. But yeah, I think it's a good signing for them, to be honest. I think they've got a relationship prior to obviously him joining now. Is it because he's Greek, isn't it? Is there a Greek link there?
Yeah, there's a Greek link. Yeah.
So I think the Forest have made a good signing, but I think we should have enough to deal with them on Saturday.
Okay, but what do you reckon, Adam?
I don't know what to expect on Saturday, if I'm honest, because I think if Ange had come in 10 days ago, or outside an international break, I think he'd have had time to kind of implement his philosophy. I mean, if you look at Nuno compared to Ange, they can play completely different football. I mentioned it last time on the pod. I said, Forest were the only team to win at Anfield last year in the league, and Nuno, like even when Forest came to us last year and we went to there, like they're kind of generally very solid, 2 banks of 4, get the ball up to Chris Wood in the air and they get him to knock down to Alanga. And I'm not belittling their football, they do play some nice stuff as well. I'm not saying they don't on the break, but the whole Forest setup last year was based on clean sheets, winning games kind of in that kind of different way. And that's my only fear for Forest, not for Saturday, that it's such a different style with a team that's been set up in a different way. And that's why I don't know what to expect Saturday, because has he had enough time to go and implement that, or do Forest just kind of stay as they all were? Which is just so against how Ange plays. I can't see Ange coming for a 0-0. I was a little bit worried about it if it was Nuno, if I'm honest, because, as I say, we always struggle against that kind of football. And I think if he came for not a 0-0 or just trying to be difficult to beat, I think we would struggle. If Ange comes and tries to play football against us, I think we'll rip him apart, because again, Forest aren't used to playing that way. And it depends how much respect he gives us and whether he thinks it's too early to try and implement that system with a team that he doesn't really know yet. So I don't quite know what to expect. I'd say it'd be really out of character if we went there and sat 2 banks of 4 behind the ball on Saturday. So who knows what we'll get.
Do you remember when Ange first joined Tottenham and he was at the Emirates? I was there. You were obviously there probably as well. The 2-2. Yeah. I think Tottenham played very well that day.
We did, and they were very ambitious playing out from the back as well. And we caught them a couple of times and should have punished them. And to say that I think they were actually better than us on the day. But and that's the thing. Does he come and play that with Forest when he doesn't know the players? I think that could be really dangerous against us on Saturday if he tries that.
Yeah, I just want to see a more sort of expressive performance from us in the final third. I think we're comfortable with the defence and the midfield. I just want to see the players like Eze and even Madueke just get on the ball and try and do some damage and try and express themselves a bit more.
Do you see Eze starting?
I think he's got to start Eze on the left.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I think with Martinelli being away in South America as well, I think there's perfect opportunity for him.
Yeah.
Is he not back, Martinelli?
Eze didn't. No, he's still
back.
He's a long trip in it. Eze didn't start the second game, did he? I don't think he even come on.
No, I don't think he did actually.
There's a bit of a rumor that Bayern Munich are seriously considering a possibility of signing him.
Martinelli. Well, in January.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be surprised just on the basis of who they've signed recently, but I mean, but we'll see. I mean, but yeah, I think going on Jake's point, I think like with Eze as well, Forest do play a very kind of, as I say, a very deep line, and I think he will have chances to kind of drift inside from that left position and try and get some. Sometimes you do have to shoot from distance against Forest because they play so deep, like when you're trying to break them down. And I think it'll be a tough game for Gyökeres to find much space in. I think it'll be one of those ones where we kind of have to lay it into his feet and get little knockdowns.
But don't you think then you say that it's going to be tough for him? But Gyökeres plays a different sort of style of football where he's more happy playing off that last man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see that being easy on Saturday. If Forest play like they've always played, you're not going to be able to spin in behind Forest because they're so deep. Like they will sit two banks of. It depends. If it was Nuno, I'd be going. They're going to sit in two banks of four. I'm not saying he can't do it. I still think he's very good with the ball into his feet and spinning. But I don't think it's going to be a game where he runs in behind easily. If Forest play that they have for the last 2 seasons.
That Murillo and Milenkovic will.
Massive. And it's down to Arteta how he set out his field, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Gyökeres can still do it. It's just, I think, as I say, it's a little bit of an unknown quantity even for Arteta. Does he play Forest thinking it's Forest of the last 2 years, or does he play Ange? Does he play against Ange? It's really difficult to know which is going to happen. We'll know within 10 minutes in that ground. We'll know if Forest start bombing 6 players forward every time they break. We'll go, okay, it's Ange has got his philosophy in straight away. If Morgan Gibbs White is the only person up anywhere near Chris Wood, we'll probably know it's still Forest's philosophy.
If he plays, because obviously he loves to play a high line.
I think Odegaard's got to make a big difference as well. Hopefully, from the couple of internationals he's had, he's gained some confidence. And
if Postecoglou plays his high line, I think that sets right into
that would be suicide at our place. Yeah.
Sorry.
That would be a terrible idea to play that against Madueke.
But I don't think he's going to change his style because that is what he's
hopefully not. Hopefully not.
But then we got to then it's our job to get the ball to them quick.
Well, look, I don't know how Arteta's going to set up, and I don't know what his thinking is, but Arteta's got the tools, and I don't think he should worry about the opposition, worry about what we're doing. And I don't know, maybe it's me. I just feel that it's all out attack.
I think it will be. I think it will be at home to Forest. I think anything but that at home to Forest, and the crowd will get very restless very quickly. Yeah. So I agree with you. I think it has to. I think you have to go at them. I'm not suggesting that we won't go at them either way. I just think it's how much space we'll have to do it in, depending on how Forest set up.
I don't think it will be that gun ho. To be fair, I think we are still playing very, very safe.
Right, let me ask you, Jake. What's your lineup? What are you looking for?
I think it's. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's going to be Raya, Timber, Mosquera, Gabriel, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, Eze, Gyökeres, Madueke. I don't see it. I don't see it.
No Victor.
Yeah, Gyökeres.
Yeah. So front three: Gyökeres, Madueke, Eze, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, Timber, Mosquera, Gabriel, Calafiori, and obviously David Raya in goal.
What do you reckon, Alan?
I agree. I think there's a small chance he rotates maybe one of the fullbacks, but I think again it's still unlikely. I think he wants that settled back, especially with Saliba missing out. I think he's less likely to rotate Calafiori and Timber. It feels a little harsh on Marino after the hat trick in midweek. But where do you play him? Where do you play him? I just don't see how he gets in the team, unfortunately. But I think Marino will come on in the second half. But it feels after a I don't know if you saw his hat trick. It was. That was like top class number 9's hat trick.
I call him a sniper. When you see his goals are accurate. He literally pinpoints his goal. He's not literally taking a shot at him. Do you know what I mean? He's placing all these goals he places.
He's not blessed with pace. He never goes past someone. He's just always in the right place at the right time.
It was like the Real Madrid goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it's like when you take a shot, you're taking that shot for the best of it, for the hope. I hope that's going to go in or something. But it's like he literally knows where he's putting that ball, like a sniper. I like it. I think but again, just like you're saying, it's going to be, where is he going to play? Do you think that's going to play on his mind?
I think it's just having a squad like this. This is a good problem to have. City have had this problem for 10 plus years now, and we've never had this problem to this level now. But it's a good problem to have. The fact that you're looking at a Spanish international that scored a hat trick in midweek, and you're going probably isn't getting our starting 11 says a lot about how strong the squad is now. A Spanish international scoring a hat trick years ago that played for Arsenal would be our best player. Now we're at the point where. We're looking at going, Lewis Skelly can't get into the team. Marino can't get in the team. Ben White, does he get back in when Timber comes back? I'm not saying Saliba won't get back in front, but you're not worried about Saliba being out in this game anymore. Like, if someone says to me this time last year, you're going to miss Saliba against Chris Wood, you're thinking, Jesus, like that's a bit of a worry. And I'm not worried about Mascara. Hopefully, he won't come back and bite me, but I'm not worried about it now. And that says a lot. You look at the bench and you think there should be 6 or 7 players that can come on and change the game if need be now.
Yeah,
which is a good thing.
I think Mourinho's got to be looking at it himself and going, well, I'm not going to start in front of Rice. Odegaard's the captain. Zubimendi's the number 6 now for the next 5
But
years.
can I just ask something? You talk about if let's just a hypothetical, okay, Odegaard to have a bad game again, is it time to drop him?
He's captain. He'll never get dropped.
You can't say that because that's a losing mentality. Because you're my captain, you cannot get dropped.
I think the option's there. I think the option's there more than it was last year. I think Jake's right. Arteta has a lot of trust in Odegaard, but if he does have 2 or 3 stinkers in a row, then you do rotate him. You do.
The only reason I say that is because Arteta's come out and doubled down on it and said, "Look, I've asked the players who's our captain.
Yeah,
all the players have said overwhelmingly that Odegaard is the man."
Yeah, okay, fine, but there's captains in more than just on the field. Okay, that's a fact. Okay, but you can't say because look, the back of last season, Odegaard wasn't playing great.
If he stood out, you're right. If he stood out as playing poorly, then I think he has to be considered now. I think we're at the point now where no player is untouchable. That's how strong the squad is. Now, I'm not.
Yeah, because I agree with Jake. That is destroying your chances of winning the league because he's my captain. He's playing poorly. I can't take him off because it's going to affect him, or it's going to affect the players. I mean, you're the manager. You're the one who's got to make that decision.
I think
if you're playing badly, let's say for instance, if he is, and I hope because I'm one of his biggest fans, and I'm hoping that he's going to turn it around because of what he's done for the Norway games, and I'm hoping this could be the point where he turns. But if it doesn't, you cannot carry on with it. You just can't do that because that means you got 10 players on the field instead of 11 players. But I think
against United away, he was starting to try and do something. I thought he was one of the better players against Man United away, and to be fair, all of them weren't great.
No, they weren't. I understand that, but then he's got to believe in himself. Look, I've got replacements now. I have got replacements. I might want to give you a rest. I might want to give you a break. I'm going to give you time to think about it. You never know. You might come off the bench and do something and say, "Look, I need to get back in my team." You can't.
I think he definitely starts, as you say. I think he starts, but I think it'd have to be pretty poor on a form. And I think Odegaard's knowledgeable and kind of self-efficient enough to know that if he's having a poor run of fixtures, then he would be dropped. I think he'd have to be pretty bad. But yeah, I think if Mourinho is coming on and outperforming him every game, then you've got to make a case from the starting. But I don't see that yet. As Jake said, we've only seen Odegaard for 1 full game this season, and I thought he was pretty good.
But then it's very easy. It rolls off your guy's tongue to replace Martinelli. It just rolls off your tongue. Oh yeah, we're putting.
He's not the captain of the football club.
But he's not playing. It's not about. I get that.
At the end of the day, it is though.
If
you're captain, you're playing every game.
If you're captain, you're playing every game.
I've never felt Martinelli even when Odegaard's not his best, he dictates our play. Like Martinelli's never dictated Arsenal's football. Martinelli he's an outlet and he can be dangerous. But when Martin Odegaard's in that number 8 position and a lot of the ball goes through him, it's like the way we play is kind of dictated around Odegaard, and that's why Martinelli. Martinelli and Trossard come on and they don't look that different. I think Odegaard's the only person we have like him.
I think that Martinelli's been played in the wrong position. And I'll tell you where Martinelli's happy. Up front.
Yeah.
He's a lot better. He's not happier up front. And I don't understand, again, is it stubbornness? Give him a chance. I'm not saying taking off Victor Gyökeres. I'm just saying, when the opportunity is there, hey, hang on a minute. He's happy up front. Let's have a go. Let's see what you can do up front.
I think probably his best moments have been one-on-one with the keeper and he's slotting it in the corner. But then again, when he first started, he was an absolute menace on the left for us.
Yeah. I think that's the worry with Martinelli. I think 3 or 4 years ago, I thought he was going to be a world beater, and he's regressed. Like, you know, there's not many players, I'd say, in the squad under Arteta that have gone backwards. I think he has. You know, most players have really improved in the last 4 or 5 years, but he's the only one. He's not got anywhere near the levels I thought he would. I know there's a stat. You know, he scored the most goals from open play for us in the last 3 years, but it feels like it should have been double that. You know, a lot of the goal, and I don't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like Marseille scoring many winners or first goals. He gets a lot of like the 4th out of 5, and I don't feel. You know, this player. You always think, I look at Saka and think, oh, Saka's got, you know, he's a big opening goal today. I never feel Martinelli's coming that really big goal for us these days.
Isn't there a stat though? Who's got the stat that when he's scored, we've never lost?
That's what I mean. I feel like it's always like in those I think it's always those comfortable wins where he comes and gets you. Like when the game opens up a bit. You know, like you look at Saka and think sometimes he's got some really big goals. You know, like Liverpool at home last year to give us the lead and stuff. Yeah, and I think, you know. the only big one was really like the biggest one was City last year, the huge deflection. You know, like, but I don't know. It's just
Real Madrid. I know. It was
it was a big goal, but we were already through at that point. But yeah, I don't know. I really want it to work out for Gabby, but I just don't know. I'm really starting to worry about him.
I think Martinelli's always going to be given a bit more rope with the Arsenal fans, just because of. When he first come in, him, Saka, Smith Rowe, what they did for the team. So I think, and he is loved by the fans. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, performances haven't been great, but I think we'll always give him that benefit of the doubt. But I think he's overthinking it. I think the injury may have hindered him. Has he lost that slight yard of pace potentially? That in his head that he's scared to go past people now.
He's very head down, and he does stop a lot of the time. You know, he did it at Anfield. I think there was. If you saw, it was a clip for him playing for Brazil, sorry, midweek, and he kind of jinked in between 2 players, and it was like the old Martinelli from 2-3 years ago at Arsenal. And it does feel like his confidence isn't at that high at Arsenal for some reason, whether he's afraid. Like, you look at Madueke, and the difference with Madueke, it feels like he's kind of willing to take players on, whereas Martinelli, it feels a bit like, oh, you know, I might get caught in possession. I think Martinelli's been brilliant going back the other way. Like, he works so hard, and a lot of that side doesn't get seen. And I've got a lot of respect for him for that, but as Pat's kind of said, we've got the best defense in Europe now, so you don't really need that as much from Martinelli now. You know, a year ago you go that you need that from your left winger, but I think you can kind of free him up a little bit now, and I think he needs to be told, like, you kind of need to be the kind of, you know, expressive outlet now. Don't work hard working backwards against Forest at home.
Don't get me wrong. I think on your point of him being a number 9, I would love for him to be like, even if he came on last 20 minutes and he's just a menace on that last line of defense. I would love to see that, to be honest, but I don't think with the way we set up and play, I don't think he will do that, unfortunately.
Well, talk about defense. All right, there's an Nkapi. Is it Nkapi?
Nkapi,
yeah. I don't know if you guys watch this guy, how he defends. The guy's unbelievable. Honestly, he's a menace.
I'm surprised that
he's a monster.
Because I think he would walk into most teams.
I think absolutely.
Obviously, with Calafiori's form, he's not going to start left centre back with Gabriel there. Left back looks like Calafiori's place at the minute. So it's going to be hard for him to come in, I think.
It's going to be.
It's a strange signing.
Replacement, though. What a
really strange signing. Like, and not from an ability point of view. I said, like, we've got an abundance of options at left back. It does seem a strange signing, but credit to him, he's obviously got a lot of confidence that he can come in. He's not left, he's not left a small club. He's left a big club in Germany that he went unbeaten with. So he must have confidence in himself to go and dislodge Calafiori and Lewis Kelly. So fair play to him.
I think he must be on a promise that he is going to start all League Cup games, all FA Cup games, even some Champions League games. You know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some of these cup games to see what squad. You know what I mean? Because again, we don't have to put out the main players.
No,
you know? I mean, because they're good enough. I mean, like with your Max Dowman, you've got your Ranieri and. You know what I mean? And Mosquera.
You're right. We used to go. Like, you go to Carabao Cup games 5-6 years ago in the third round, and it'd be probably 4 or 5 17 and 19-year-olds that you knew vaguely from the youth team. But now you say, like, the second 11. Yeah, the second 11. Yeah, the second 11 now you think would be making a good push for the top 6 in the Prem, if not higher.
Yeah, that is the positive of the squad depth that we've built. So,
But so there's no excuse now.
No.
There is no
In the Carabao Cup, there's not. No.
There is no excuse. And I've got to say, guys, honestly, I mean, I've got to say, we've got to win this league. We've got to win this. We've got no God-given rights to win this league, because I know Liverpool's squad is going to be unbelievable, especially now they've got Isaac. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, what a headache is their manager's going to have with Isaac and Etiquette. Is it right?
Ekitike.
Oh, Etiquette, whatever his name is. All right. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but Arsenal's got to do it. And
if we start clicking up front, I think we are going to be very, very, very hard to beat. And it's going to be us or Liverpool. But we need to. Liverpool are going to score probably more goals than us, but defensively we're a lot more solid than they are. But I am slightly worried that.
Would you just say the defense? What about the midfield? I'll say midfield. I'll say we're on par with them.
But as far as like goals scored, goals conceded, I'm saying I think.
But the beautiful thing about that, Arsenal's got players from the back to the front that can score goals.
I know, but I'm saying
about it.
Watching us now, we need to start clicking up front.
Oh, absolutely. And again, that just depends on how Arteta sets up the game, sets up the play.
I think Jake's right. The one thing that Liverpool have got is pretty much 2 guarantee players that will get you 20 league goals. We've got players that could get to 20 league goals, but Isak, and if you'd be surprised over a full season if Isak and Salah didn't hit 20 league goals, that's the slight difference up front.
But that was the beautiful thing about what I loved about that. Okay, Timber had Salah in his pockets.
He did.
California.
He had him in his pockets. I completely forgot Salah was playing.
Yeah, no, the defense do very well, but
that was the same against Newcastle. When they played Newcastle, he was non-existent, but then he got the pass for that youngster to get the goal. So
are we playing? Are we at home to Newcastle or away first?
We're away. I'm my boy's
birthday. You know, I'm glad who's not there, who's not playing because he's suspended. What's his name?
Gordon.
Because that guy bullies Arsenal.
He
bullies Arsenal.
Timber.
Sorry?
He wouldn't bully my boy Timber.
Well, he's been bullying Arsenal since I could.
I do.
Adam, am I wrong?
No, I do like Gordon. He was a right pain in the 2 Carabao Cup games last year. He was very good.
He's a bully.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't understand with Arsenal supporter players. Listen, they know he's a bully. Give it back to him. Give it back to him.
I think James we have got the physicality now to. Obviously, I think the game's been so exciting against Newcastle because we're both very, very physical teams. They might have had the slight advantage of that with the midfield of Joel Linton and Bruno and that, but I think we're set up. But it's we've got the defensive midfield. We just need to get clicking up front, and I think we are a complete team there.
Do you think Rice is pushing up more forward now? Now we've got Zubimendi to control to do the holding. Do you think
he's got more freedom to do it? Definitely.
Yeah, I think Rice and Eze. I think Rice will help Eze as well on the left-hand side to start getting him going. So I'm quite happy with that because I don't think Calafiori is going to be overlapping and doing all this business. So I think
is Eze best on the left-hand side or the right?
Left. Okay. I think Eze will help Gyökeres as well. I was seeing some clips the other day, and there was a few Palace fans, and they were talking about how quickly Eze got it into Mateta. And if you look at again what Martinelli's done in the last last year, he's very head down, and he did it at Anfield. He held on to the ball too long. Gyökeres made that run in behind, as you said.
That's right, yeah.
And Martinelli held on to it. Now, what Eze does, he kind of like he shifts it into Gyökeres very quickly, and I think he will do that. And I think they'll play well together because Eze's game is very much get the ball, kind of feed it into the striker, look for the little 1-2s, and I think he will be a better foil for Gyökeres. And I'm looking forward to them.
I've always thought Eze is very good for low blocks. He's very
he is. He's very good to pull the trigger either from 20 yards.
Yeah. Who would you let? All right, captain.
We are scared to shoot outside the box as well.
We are massively, hugely. The person who was never scared to do that was Partey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And okay, let's say hypothetical free kick. Who's taking it? Odegaard or Eze?
Rice. I think it's Rice at the
Rice.
moment.
Oh, yeah. Or Rice. Okay.
I think Rice and Eze will share him out a little bit.
Yeah, to be fair, that Rice free kick against Liverpool was an absolute disgrace, and I think he hit a fan in the upper tier.
I think it'd be Rice from 30 yards, Eze from 20-25, because I don't think everything about Rice's free kicks are very kind of powerful. You know, like
Hey, I'll tell you what, Gyökeres does take some good free kicks.
Yeah, to be fair, just outside the queue, it could be Eze or Gyökeres. To be fair,
Gyökeres is very good at taking free kicks.
And
stuff.
But good options to have. I mean, there was years without scoring a free kick, wasn't it? So it's nice options to have. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, it was but you
say
that who was taking our free kicks?
Well, it was David Luiz at one point, wasn't it? I mean, that was
no, it was Odegaard. Odegaard.
Yeah, but no, even before that, we had all sorts of players.
Did he scored a lovely
one
against Burnley?
Odegaard, 95% of Odegaard's free kicks ends up in the wall.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that actually.
No, you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think he's been taken off free kicks, and
he's not going to look at this year,
and even corners now. So
I want to ask you guys about
the number 10 job.
I want to ask you guys about the signing because apparently Arsenal's now going to be putting out a new contract for Saliba.
I think we've got to do everything on
I see it somewhere. It was worth over 190,000 a week.
We've got to be paying him the same wage as the top dogs at Arsenal.
If they want to keep him, 100%. They can't mess about now.
No. I think I've got a real bad feeling he will be off to Real Madrid. I hope this doesn't happen, but it's even this year or the end of this year.
No, I can't see him letting him go. I can't see him letting him go in January. Can't see it. I can see it in the summer. If that's what you're saying, I can see it in the summer. But when it comes to January, can't see it.
You know, when you said that it's just constant talk about it, like Mbappe was just constant talk around.
Well, they can talk about it. I mean, if he signs his new contract,
but then
if he signs that contract, Real Madrid ain't touching him because Real Madrid loves a player.
Well, of course. If he signs a contract and he supports the club, so I hope and pray that he will stay. I've just got this doubt in my head.
I've got faith in Alberta is going to do the right thing because you can't mess about. You can't mess around with it because obviously Real Madrid wants him to run down the contract. Berta comes out and give him what he wants, give him the contract that he wants. He's happy. He'll sign it. I tell you now, Real Madrid will go away.
They rarely do. Rarely do.
Real Madrid doesn't play for players. They rather a player run their contract right.
They do. They do both though. Like if they can get someone to go for free, but they're not afraid to splash the cash.
What was the last time Real Madrid splashed out a big cash on any player? When was the last time? Very, 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 very a long time since they've done that. They haven't got the money. Just like Barcelona, they haven't got the money.
Bellingham wasn't huge money, was it? I think
no, it wasn't.
50 or was it? I'm just trying to think their squad now. I mean, I'm just saying historically as a club, you know, even if you go back kind of 5-10 years, you know, even who's that? Sorry,
Mbappe.
No, Mbappe went for
he was out of contract, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was out of contract.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think about their squad, but I mean, they bought a lot of obviously Brazilian talent for kind of overinflated. Well, I say overinflated price. They've obviously turned out to be good players, a lot of them. But I'm talking historically as a club. If Madrid don't, you know, they want to play, they generally get him. You know, you go back to the Bale, Kaka days. You know, like Zidane, Figo. You know, they've always. The only one they never got, which was delight, was Vieira. You go back
doing the same thing.
But Vieira every year linked with Real Madrid, and there was the only one we've never actually sold a big player to Real Madrid, have we? We've only ever gone and sold to Barca.
I can't remember the Liverpool's player's name, but they're doing the exact same thing to him, letting him run his contract down because he's doing the exact same thing because Barcelona wants him and he's running his contract down.
To be fair, the only thing I'd say, sorry, good back to the Saliba thing. The only thing I was happy with is that Dean Huijsen went to Real Madrid.
Yeah,
and he plays right centre back, doesn't he? So I think that was a big win for us, and I think he's
that was 50 million actually. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good shout. Yeah,
he's a quality player, so I don't see him losing his place anytime soon. So that's a bonus for us. But yeah, the way we're going, the trajectory we're going, hopefully he will sign a new contract.
I really don't want to lose Saliba, but again, if someone had said to me 2 years ago you were at risk of losing Saliba, I'd have felt that we're going to fall apart. Now, if let's say Real Madrid came in with 120 million, the same that like Isak did, and we went, so be it. He doesn't look like he's going to sign a deal. I would be worried. I'm not saying Saliba's one of the best centre backs in the world, but we're at a point where you go, Calafiori could play there. Mascara looks, I'm not going to judge Mascara too early. I'm not judging him on one game because
I'd happily have Timber there.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be as panicked as I was.
Yeah, no, I would, because Timber's too small. He's too short.
Yeah, but he makes up for that in everything else he does.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I agree. Standard should be 6 foot, whatever. But
yeah, I don't want to lose Saliba, but I think we are at a point where we are kind of preparing for the worst case scenario in any position at the moment.
I would like to just ask the listeners, what do they think? Would you be worried if Saliba don't sign a new contract? Are you not worried because you feel we've got enough replacements in there to replace him? Please let us know in the comment. I've got a
question for you, Pat.
Say again?
I've got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I know you're not a big fan of Odegaard. Would you
No.
It's all on camera, mate.
All right.
All I was saying was, which I wouldn't.
Don't worry, mate. Don't forget, I'm in charge of this. I can edit it out.
Yeah, I'll be gone in a minute. All I'd say is I wouldn't be mad to see Lewis Skelly play a bit more of an attacking role and coming late on for the last sort of half an hour. I think he can unlock defenses, and even
that's a really good, decent shout.
And even spin players. And
I think that's a good, yeah.
Look at his goal against Man City. Do you know what I mean? I think that was a left 8 position where he turned the player and obviously.
No, I think that's a good decent shout.
But that's what with all these bloody left backs we've got. That's why I want to see. I want to see Lewis Skelly get a chance in the midfield.
You know who I'm worried about, if I'm honest, is Ethan. When is he going to get his chance? Because that's what I'm thinking. What he's thinking.
I think if we were at home to Liverpool, I think he would have started.
What?
I think if we were at home to Liverpool, when Odegaard got that injury and obviously Marino started in that midfield at Anfield, I think Arteta might have had a bit more about him and he would have played and wary at home. I think it was too big of a risk, not big of a risk, but I think he wanted to play very cautiously against Liverpool, and that's why he put Marino there. And he does like that experienced player rather than chucking in the youngster, I'd say.
You've just made me a little bit more worried in what you just said about Arteta. If Arteta had a little bit more about him.
No, I think it's based on because you're away at Anfield, and that's probably one of the scariest places to go. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think.
I think if it was at home, he'd be more inclined to. It'd be more of an option to play and where it's to start.
I don't think. How I think is like I don't think Pep would think that way.
I think he did, Pat. And the reason why I say that is when Phil Foden broke through for the first 18 months, there was a lot of chat about like you've got to release him, you've got to play him because Foden played a lot, as Jake said, Foden played in a lot of the games at the Etihad. But away from home in the big games, he didn't play a lot of those games. And if you look back at Foden's stats, the first 18 months, he kind of like started and benched as many times. And people were saying, when's he going to replace De Bruyne? When's he going to come in? When's he going to get his chance? And then he exploded and was Player of the Year. And I think, I'm not saying Nwaneri's Foden, but I think there's similarities to it. But he's come in a little bit ahead of schedule. He's come into a very strong squad. And I think if he's happy to bide his time, then I think he will get games and he'll force his way into the picture. But I don't think he's quite there yet to make sure to start every game. And I think he will. I think he will come on in games for Odegaard, as Jake says, especially at home. I think he will come on the wing at times. I think because he's that versatile, he will play a lot of football. And again, like you look back at the kind of United squad of the 90s, some of those players had to bide their time and kind of wait for their chance. And I think he'll get enough football this year. I really do.
We've got the squad now to play all competitions.
So, hypothetical, how do you feel when Liverpool come to Arsenal? How do you think we'll line up?
What, with everyone fit?
Everyone fit. How do you think we're going to play the same conservative game? Or
no, I mean, Saka and Odegaard being out will forced our hand a little bit. I think. I think if Saka and Odegaard had played at Anfield, would have been a little bit more ambitious.
Saka and Odegaard start at the Emirates. Eze will be on the left again. Gyökeres will start up front, and Rice, Supermendy. I think Rice, Supermendy, and Odegaard are stuck in set in stone.
Right. Okay. Overall, I want to know this. I want to know the score with the Arsenal game. Adam.
2-0.
2-0.
Yeah, 2 or 3-0, I'd say. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to ask Adam, goal scorers.
You put me on the spot now. Okay, I'll go Gyökeres. I think he will come good on Saturday. And I've got a feeling Eze will get off the mark.
Okay. All right.
I've got a cheeky Gabriel header from a right corner.
Oh, so what you're saying? Set piece again.
Set piece FC, mate. Tim is going to get a hat trick.
All right. Before again, everyone in the chat, please let us know what you think about what we're discussing. Please give us your opinion on it. I want to quickly, before we finish up, okay, I want to ask you first, Adam, when you heard about the charges with Chelsea, the 74 charges, what did you think?
Mixed feelings, Pat. I mean, how it's taken this long, firstly. I've worked with some Chelsea fans. I've always given them a stick about it, and you've heard me on the podcast here saying I don't like the way Chelsea do things. It's not the way Arsenal do things. I've always so again, sorry,
and nothing on.
No, I've always felt Chelsea do things in a dodgy way, and my worry is, especially because they brought the charges on themselves a little bit, that they'll get away with it.
100%.
And I think they looked at the City charges and go, we're going to get caught out. So if we do the magnanimous thing and go like, we'll put ourselves forward, they're going to get a lesser punishment. Now, I guess they're going to get probably a £10 million fine, or a transfer embargo for one transfer window when they've already bought 55 players in the last 2 years, so it won't affect them. So I think the problem is the Premier League is stuck between a rock and a hard place, because if they are found guilty, the Premier League looks stupid that they didn't notice it 15, 20 years ago. And it's the same situation with City. But if they are found not guilty, it's like, well, your rules don't mean anything. So I'm worried about it to an extent, because I just think they'll get away with it. And you look at City. I mean, City was first 4 years ago it was brought out. We still haven't got an answer to that. So how quick is this going to happen for Chelsea? I think Chelsea know what they're doing. City know what they're doing. We all know what they're doing. But I think their lawyers are going to get them out of it, if I'm honest.
What did I hear the other day about City using us as an example? Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that, no.
Something to do with the charges. They're using us as an example over the last couple of years.
Well, what have we done?
I'm not sure. I
mean, the Chelsea thing, going back to it briefly, I mean, the agent fees, it's like, as I say, when I've always kind of had digs at Chelsea on here, I always feel like it's a very sly way they do it. The rumours are they've overpaid agents and stuff, which is, it's stuff that you don't generally see.
Overpaid family members.
That's what I mean. It's kind of behind the scenes kind of little dodgy deals.
It still affects. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it still affects how they perform with the Champions League, winning it.
I agree.
Twice, and the Premier League now.
But nothing's gonna happen back, because they're gonna go. It's like us taking over. Us three, we've bought a business. And we're going, fucking hell, we bought the business off this guy. We've grassed ourselves up and gone, they were cooking the books, basically. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. That's why they're going to get away with it.
It's still the institution. What I'm worried about, okay, what it's going to take for the Premier League's going to take a stance on this. They're going to take it out on small clubs like the Leicesters.
They already are, Pat. They already are.
Right, like the Forest. They're going to say, right, we're putting our foot down.
Everton.
Right, the Evertons. That is completely wrong. It's wrong. It's completely wrong what they're doing. Okay, Chelsea needs to get on. I want to go on record. Chelsea needs to give back the FA Cup. I mean, the Premier League, the 2 Premier Leagues that they won, and the 2 Champions League that they won. They should forfeit it, because you didn't do it right. You crooks.
Never.
Allegedly. Just in case someone try and get me in.
You're right in the fact of, like PSR's come in on the basis of this, but what the problem is the Premier League have reacted to it far too late. It's 20 years too late. When Chelsea came in and spent billions that no one else could spend, and it was free reign, and City did it. The problem is they're now decided that financial fair play is the right time to do it now. But the problem is that the top 6 have got too powerful in that time. So they've made too much money over the Champions League fees and the TV money. So it's too late now, because the top 6 are, what they've said is that you have to work within your own means. Now, if Chelsea had done that 20 years ago, they weren't bringing in huge ticket gate receipts. They weren't having huge sponsorship deals. They weren't getting a major kind of attendances, and all that. So they would have struggled to buy who they bought back then. The problem is now they're doing it. The top six are so far ahead financially than everyone else. Like you said, Villa have been in the Champions League for the last 2 years. They're still having to sell players every year to try and stay afloat here. You have to try and keep going. Like you say, Forest have got tons of money. Newcastle have got tons of money. They can't spend it. Like they've basically said to the mid-table teams, don't try and overtake the top six, because that's where our monopoly is, and that's what makes the Premier League great. And
So
it's a weird way of doing it.
The top six are protected
Massively. And I say that as an Arsenal fan. I say that being a fan of someone in the top six, I'm making it very clear. I don't agree with it from an Arsenal point of view as well. Like the top six have been protected with these rules, because I don't see a situation now where for the next 20 years the top six eventually don't become the top six every season, and one of the six will end up winning the Champions League most seasons. Bar an unbelievable academy.
Are you putting the top six as Tottenham?
Say again, sorry.
Is Tottenham in that top six?
They are financially, yeah, they definitely are financially. I'm not saying they are in success, but they're certainly there financially. They got a top six stadium, they've got top six money coming in. So
I honestly believe that if that was Arsenal, they'd make an example of them. I honestly really believe that.
I think they like the top six.
I think we've got too much power. The top six have got too much power. So this is
why
with the Man City charges, we've heard absolutely nothing. Everyone's getting paid backhanders. It's going to come out. There's going to be no points deduction or anything like that. There's going to be.
But if you're sitting there and you're in Everton, when Everton got the points deduction, you're sitting there like a Leicester or whoever. Surely all those other teams, because once you put all your reserves and everything together against the top six, I guarantee you still have that money. And don't forget, right? Like you said, Newcastle, they've got the revenue as just as much as City or Arsenal to go to court to take Premier League as far as they like. Do you know what I mean? They've got the money to do that. You got you got them who can do that. And the Newcastles can do that. Even the Tottenhams or whoever, all right, can do that, because it's not just about what you're bringing in. You're talking about the people that owns the company now, who can bring in the best lawyers and everyone else.
So this is what they've said. So on the Man City charges, they're saying that City highlighted Arsenal was receiving a 259 million shareholder loan during the 2022-23 campaign is basically unfair. And that's what they're trying to say and use as an example against these charges. So they're trying to get us involved, basically. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, do that. I've not seen that.
I think the problem is, Pat, as we kind of just said, it's that they brought these rules in. Now the problem is Newcastle don't have that. It doesn't matter how good Newcastle's lawyers are
in the private chat.
Yeah, Newcastle now have the PSR rules are in now. Everyone's adhering to it. Everyone is, because they are the rules now, and there's strong measures in place. But it's too late. The horse has already bolted. City and Chelsea have already done the damage already. It's too late.
And sorry, Adam. I was just going to say as well. I think what Chelsea are doing with Strasbourg. We're trying to go down that route.
I really hope we're not. I really hope we don't.
So what's Arsenal? What's that? What do you mean?
So I think they've got the Colorado Rapids. I think we're just trying to get clubs in different leagues, or the Cronkies are going to try and buy clubs in different leagues. And then
Chelsea just bought a team in South America, and they've just bought another team in Japan.
Yeah, so it's just a money,
and that's what Arsenal's trying to do as well now.
Mess.
Football's a mess if that happens. I mean, it's a mess anyway. But football, I'll always love football, but it's such a mess. Like it's got ridiculous. It's such a business now, and nothing. I love American people, but say 11 of the clubs now in the Premier League are owned by the American owners, and the way American franchises work are very, in sport are very different to how it's run in the Premier League, and it's slowly coming into the game. And as you say, that things like franchises aren't unusual in America, and they have that kind of college system where they goes in and the draft system, and it feels like it's going more and more down that route now. it's loved in America. It's not loved over here, and that's why the Super League was thrown out. Again, in America, I think they would have gone for the Super League, but we don't want that. And I was seeing the other day, they were talking about Premier League games being played over in America and Australia.
You're talking about it was the Spanish and the Italians, and apparently it's just been thrown out.
Yeah, but they're talking about like in the long run about whether England will do it again.
There's 14 clubs owned by American owners, and it only takes 14 clubs to make a decision for the Premier League to go ahead and do
only
something.
3 more, and it's 3 more, and then the Americans run the show.
14 clubs. We might be playing Arsenal, Tottenham in bloody America.
Yeah,
and that is a joke, and that's when football's gone.
Yeah, but I think the fans won't accept it.
But it's not the fans. This is what it's about. The fans aren't getting included. It's about if the 14 owners of these Premier League clubs, they're all Yanks, and they end up playing.
But again, you say the fans won't. The fans are going. When it comes to them sort of thing, the fans stand together, just like what they tried to do.
You say that it didn't work. They won't care because there's going to be 80,000 Americans going to that game in America. They don't care about us who go to the games every week.
And that's the worry. I think they were saying, as Jake said, at the moment, the fans are very vocal about, loyalty points and season tickets. But the problem is that over time, have you seen the amount that Americans charge for some of their sports tickets? It's unbelievable. And they're going to look at it and go, why are we charging Arsenal away fans 30 quid to go to United away when we could charge them 200 and corporate people will pay £500 for it? And that's the problem. It's like, if they do get enough power for it, it will be like the fans don't. That's where
that ombudsman's gonna come in.
You'd hope so. I hope it is. I hope it is. There's regulations put to it because, I've been to sport in America. I've been to a lot of different sport in there, and it's a fun day out, but it's not Premier League. I've been to NFL games where you sit next to the away fans, they're 2 seats down, and basketball we're into. And don't get me wrong, it's all very friendly, but the whole beauty of the Premier League is kind of like, you've got your away section over here, your home section over here. You're seeing the same fans at all the games, and everyone travels, and it feels like it's a bit more like a theatre over in America. It's a bit more of a day out, and I don't want it to go like that because the beauty of the Prem is the fact that it's kind of tribal, and you want to have that banter between the fans, and it's a little bit dangerous, and that's what we like about it.
But it was like pre-season. It's like I don't want to watch Arsenal versus Tottenham in pre-season. That should never happen.
Yeah, that should never happen.
Play at the Emirates.
I agree.
At the toilet or in Wembley.
Well, guys, gonna say thanks very much. But before I do, I'm gonna say to everyone in the chat, please subscribe, please like, please share the video, please subscribe to the video. It really would help us and to bring out some more content and everything that you've heard, that you've listened to, whether you agree with it or not, please let us know in the comments, and please let us know as well what you would like us to talk about and everything. And just want to say thanks to Adam.
Cheers, Pat.
And thanks to Jake.
Thank you, mate.
But you know what I was going to say before I go? I'm just going to ask you quickly your predictions. I completely forgot about it. But quickly, just very quickly, guys, I'm going to start with Arsenal once again. Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Adam?
2-0.
Jake?
3-0.
Bournemouth Brighton. Adam?
2-1 Bournemouth.
Jake?
I'll go for a cheeky 2-2.
Okay. Crystal Palace Sunderland. Adam?
2-0 Palace.
Yeah, I could see that being more. I fancy Sunderland at home, but away, I don't think they'll do well. Yeah, 3-0.
Okay. Everton, Villa, Adam?
I'm going to go 1-0 Everton. I don't think Villa are pulling up any trees this season.
Yeah, again, I think Grealish just score against Villa, 2-0.
Yeah. All right. Fulham versus Leeds?
2-1 Fulham.
Yeah, I could see that being 2-3-0 Fulham.
Oh, okay. Newcastle versus Wolves.
1-0 Newcastle. Tight game.
I think that their striker might get a couple. That Voltamada or whatever his name is. I think that could be 2-3-0 again.
Okay.
Newcastle.
West Ham versus Tottenham. Don't let me down on this score, please, guys.
I'm going to let you down.
West Ham.
Sorry.
Go on, mate.
You let me down. Anyway, I'll edit it anyway. Fuck it.
5-0 West Ham.
What are you going for?
Bowen hat-trick, 2 Van de Ven own goals.
Love your pal. Let me hear what Adam's got to say. Don't forget, Adam, I've got the power to edit your pal.
Do you want heart or head?
I want heart. No, head.
Head, I'm going 2-1 Spurs.
2-1 Spurs. No, I meant heart.
Oh, heart. 3-0 West Ham then, yeah.
3-0 West Ham. Okay. Brentford, Chelsea. Now, don't let me down on this one.
I'm worried about Brentford this year. I think Chelsea will win that 2-1.
Really?
Brentford they've won their last couple, haven't they?
Who's that? Sorry.
Brentford.
No, they lost at Sunderland, didn't they? Last time
did they? Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Just because I don't like Big Lou, Big Chelsea. 3-0 Brentford.
Where you going?
He's gone quiet since these charges come out, haven't they? You need to.
Oh, mate, no.
Listen,
You wanted to see me and him to say.
Give me some abuse.
Oh, gave it to him on that phone, bruv. Gave it to him on that phone. Right. So, Burnley versus Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool.
I think Burnley will make it hard work, but yeah, I think Liverpool will win 2-0.
Okay. And the last one, City Man U.
I think it's a tough one. Again, United have got an unusually good record there in recent years.
They do, don't they? They
yeah.
on there.
It's weird. It's weird to call a rival a bogey team, but I think City have to win that. I really do. So I think City will nick it. I'll go 2-1.
I think they got a few injuries here. Diaz out.
It's a banana skin.
Is out.
Yeah, Marmoush is definitely out, isn't he? Yeah.
Then Haaland scored 5 the other day. So
yeah, I'll go 2-1 City myself. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Everyone in the chat, please let us know your predictions, your scores, and anyone going to the games, please let us know what you think. Tell us about it and everything else. So we just want to say thanks for everyone in the chat. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Jake.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Paul.
And everyone else, thanks very much. Once again, please do us a favor. Please subscribe. Please like and hit the like button, guys. Appreciate it.